Awesome. Wow. Wow. Hello, everybody. This might end up being our biggest audience that we have ever had. At least the moment we open the doors, there's sure an amazingly large crowd, and it just keeps piling in, as we know, for a few minutes going forward. So I want to thank everybody and wish everybody a happy New Year's. I'm going to mute everybody. Please stay on mute, by the way, everybody, unless you're speaking. We'll talk about that in just a second. Happy New Year's to everybody. Let's make 2023 just amazing. The Venture Starters community is absolutely a thing now. So, I mean, we started this adventure in August, on August 3rd. I'm just going to give a little history while we're letting more people in the room, and because people are still arriving. And it really started originally with a small group in late July that was 17 people. Then I started to do the Wednesday events August 3rd, and it grew from there. And we doubled in size probably within 6 weeks. And then we doubled again within 6 weeks. And honestly, November, December was just where we bumped from being where we would get maybe 75 to 100 people to show up to, we're now averaging around 250 to 300 people to show up. And my guess is that within the next 60, 90 days, if we really want to make this a bigger event, we could be at 500 people attending, a single Wednesday night event. I really love the growth. A lot of it is coming from word of mouth. Thank you to all of you for spreading the word and telling people about what we're doing. That's among the reasons why we become so popular so fast. Another is that I'm actually advertising on LinkedIn to try and find super talented people to invite to this event that I think should be a consideration to join some of your startup teams. So to you founders, I've sat through probably about 700 pitches since we started this thing. And I'm an investor, and I've invested in a few of you. Some of you know that, but I can't invest in all of you. And my suggestion to most of the founders is that the reason you're at my event, and I really appreciate that you're here, don't take this wrong, is that you're missing somebody on your team that literally with one phone call can solve the reason why you might be stuck. And, getting unstuck is all about networking. And investors like me, we invest in people, we invest in teams. So it's a possibility that your team needs slight alterations. So for those of you founders that are up pitching, and you may be thinking that all you need is money from investors, and I get that. It may turn out that what you also need are some other people to join your team. So you might want to mention key titles of people that you might be interested in interviewing that would come onto your team part-time. Maybe they come on for equity only. Maybe they come on in some sort of creative way where they get no compensation till they deliver certain outcomes. But this is a networking group, and we are trying to connect as many of you to the right people so that you can make magic happen faster than ever. So, take advantage of the fact that I'm spending a lot of money bringing a large group of people together, some of which have resumes that are just to die for, amazingly smart and talented people who are here in the room that you should be talking to, that might help you and may have knowledge that you need or connections that you need. So even though, sorry about the background noise, even though we, most of you founders think that you're here just to meet our investors, and we have way more investors now than we've ever had in the room before, also consider asking for help for, people who can join you in other roles. And let's see if we can attract some really great talented people to your teams. The right teams always attract the right money. The right teams don't get stuck. The right teams know the right buyers. The right teams flourish and they grow fast. And, maybe this is the place that you will come to be able to find that team. Enough said about that. I think we've let enough people in the room. We have over 300 people in the room right now, which is so amazing. All right, my name is Mark November. Some of you know me, some of you don't because you're brand new. You can look me up on LinkedIn. I'm the founder of this event and obviously the moderator. Few things. Everybody needs to stay on mute for this event to work. The only person that should be talking is the person who is speaking to our entire audience, and we're going to have lots of speakers tonight. Everybody that wants to meet the others, that if you're confused, how am I going to meet others and get involved in networking, open up the meeting chat. That's where everything happens. You can post to everybody if you want what you do, what you're looking for, or you can reach out directly to a founder directly and share information. And then if you're an investor, the founder can send you information about their deck and their follow-ups. And if you're somebody that wants to join their team, has specialized knowledge about what they're doing, send the founders a message. And then again, arrange for a time for you to meet outside of this event so you can see if maybe you're a fit or not. I'm hoping to create as many business marriages as possible this year. That's what this event is all about. So let's see. Just want to also say, for those of you that don't know how we do this, if you go to the reaction button or you look for something called the raise hand function, that puts you in the queue to actually speak and pitch to us. So founders, you're allowed 2 minutes to do an elevator pitch. There's no slides, literally just an elevator pitch, all verbal. And for the rest of you that would like to speak and just introduce yourself, let us know who you are. You have 1 minute. Just give us a quickie about yourself. You can follow up in the chat with more information, the link to your LinkedIn, so that people can get to know you better. And we'd love to have everybody who we can fit in a 2-hour time window speak, so that you guys can all meet each other. If you see two faces that look like mine that are floating around the room, it's my assistants. I can't be everywhere. So I'm not in the chat. And if you think you're talking to me directly, you are not. You're talking to one of my assistants. So just keep that in mind. If you'd like to talk to me directly, go and reach out to me through the venturestarters.com website or the marknovember.com website or LinkedIn, and then you can reach out to me directly. Wow, 331 people in the room. This is just growing. This is a truly amazing thing. We're all part of a phenomenon. You may not realize that, but if you stick with this community, you'll realize that this is sort of growing in a way that, is completely unexpected to me. I had no idea I'd be moderating this type of community at this stage of my life and career. This all happened somewhat by surprise. Okay, couple of other quick things. Those of you who are going to speak, I recommend that you click on the 3 dots that's on your video, and after your first name, add your email address. It's not a necessity, but if you want people to be able to know how to reach you, and we do replays of this on YouTube, which gets thousands of views, mostly outside of the United States. Indonesia seems to be our #1 market for some odd reason, watching our replays, and Bangladesh. But nevertheless, we're getting a lot of international interest, and I get emails every day from people who watch our videos. So, please put your email address after your name so people can find you outside of the event, just in the event that there's a reason. Also, I want to just point out that this event has become so huge that I don't know everybody here anymore. When we got started, I knew a lot of the people, and if I didn't, I got to know them pretty quickly. But please treat anybody you meet at this event with the same level of caution as you should be doing at any other event like this. So I don't know everybody. Please be aware. On the other hand, we have some spectacular people in the room. So even if there's a few bad apples, it's absolutely worth being here. I'm starting a fund. I don't know how it's going to look and what shape it's going to take. It'll be called the Venture Starters Fund. And we are going to launch it this year at some point. And if any of you know how to run a fund or investors that would be interested in backing a Venture Starters Fund that invests in this community and in the people who pitch at our events, please let me know, reach out to me. I'm looking for the help and the direction to larger pools of investment money so that can be a layer onto our 2023 plans for Venture Starters. And lastly, I did start a website a few days ago called marknovember.com because so many of you especially in December and November, were asking me, how can I personally help your company? You may know that I do help some companies, ones I don't invest in, but that I still have an interest in helping. So you can go to marknovember.com and it answers these 3 questions. How can I help your company? What do I charge? And how can you get on my calendar? So just get on my calendar if you actually have a real interest in hiring me, because I just don't have the bandwidth anymore to keep doing free advisory sessions. I must have done 100 to 150 just free advisory consulting meetings late last year. It was a blast. I love all of you, but my time is now getting very difficult to manage unless I just focus it on the people who are my clients. Otherwise, of course, you're all welcome to this free event, and this event, doesn't cost anything for anybody, just myself. All right, so that's all of the announcements, and I cannot wait to hear who we have to basically present tonight to us. Last thing before we get started, it's a 2-hour-long event, and some of the best people who will speak might be in the last hour. So try and stay for the whole 2 hours if you really want to get maximum benefit out of our events. I know that I have promised that I was going to stop the events after 2 hours, and I've slid in the last 2 times, and I just didn't. I caved in and decided to keep on letting people do it. But tonight we're going to actually stop exactly at 6 p.m. Pacific. And that would be 9 p.m. Eastern. And I apologize in advance to those that don't make it in the queue. We have 54 people already in the queue right now. And my guess is we might not get to the last few that are in it. And I apologize already in advance. So anybody who's still planning on entering into the queue now, just know there's a chance you might not make it in for tonight's event. But that doesn't mean we won't want you next week. We're a weekly event, come every Wednesday. All right, so our very first presenter of the night is Matthew with everybody. Matthew, you're going to have to come off mute and get us started for the night. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Wow, 363 people in the room. Oh my God, what a great New Year's gift that is to all of us. All right, get us started, Matthew.
All right, thanks so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. It's interesting, Mark, you're building a community here, and that's what I like to do. I like to build communities too. And the key thing is we've got the technology, right? Zoom is just sitting there, and we've got the information age. We've got too much information, right? But it takes somebody like you to bring people together in the right setting. And miracles can happen that way. Like you say, magic happens that way. So what I'm really interested in neighborhoods. Wouldn't it be nice? I'm sorry, I've got to look at my notes because this is kind of a new pitch. Mike Verrett helped me very much, by the way. I want to shout out to him. Wouldn't it be nice if people in neighborhoods work together to solve local problems? How could that happen? Is it going to take an alien invasion to get people motivated to work together? No. It just takes a well-designed community in the neighborhood to do that. Welcome to Everybody Community Builders. We transform neighborhoods from chaos to collaboration, participation, and partnership. I'm Matthew. I'm a humanitarian engineer. People like myself focus on bringing positive change by looking at problems and engineering solutions that are not only practical, but measurable. It's important, huh? So let's say we have a local park and it's been neglected. A restaurant owner wants to build PR while helping make the neighborhood a better place for her own children. She puts an ad in the Everybody Community Directory, announces that she's sponsoring the local park. That means she and her employees will actually physically go to the park and help clean it up and improve it, maybe a couple hours every week. Now, people know that every time they go to her restaurant, they're going to be contributing to the local neighborhood. They're going to be making neighborhood changes. She's contributing to cleaning up the park. She's doing something meaningful, right? And I would like to be part of that, wouldn't you? I think it's really good energy. So there's hundreds of possibilities here, like cleaning up the riverbank, getting the syringes out of the playground, and even helping out in the orphanage, things like that. So there's so many possibilities, right? It's a win-win all around, and these are real, tangible results. We take pictures before and after. We're Everybody Community Builders. We build extraordinary communities. Think there's a need for that? I do. We're seeking $95,000 for 10% equity, and we project 12 million USD in annual revenue within the first 18 months. Thank you for your precious time. Now let's get going.
Thanks, Matthew. That was good. And Mike is helping you, I can tell. So if you want to meet Matthew, meet him in the chat. Up next is Greg.
Hi there, my name is Greg Hodgen, and I'm the CEO of ZC Institute, and I'm going to make this very short and very sweet because sometimes less is more. Here's my pitch. We can make this. That's the pitch. I'm going to put my information in the chat. If you don't see what it is, it's Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future. We can do that now. Won't take too much time. But we can beat Lawrence Livermore by about 30 years. Mark, you said you want to talk to me at some point. Now's the time. That's it.
I do want to talk to you. So please, maybe one of my assistants can connect with you so we can get on the calendar together. I'm very interested. Thank you so much, Greg. Up next is my friend, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, good. My name is Chris Faraguna from WinQuest Incorporated. WinQuest is an innovative AR treasure hunting app that combines the element of gaming, data collection, and target advertising. With our platform, users can participate in exciting AR treasure hunts, raffle contests, scratch-offs, and trivia challenges, all while providing us with valuable data about their brand, product, and hobby interests. The AR gaming market is on the rise and is projected to have a compound annual growth rate of 61.9% between 2020 and 2027, reaching a market size of $284.93 billion. This presents a massive opportunity for companies like WinQuest to capitalize on the growing demand for immersive, interactive gaming experiences. In addition to the exciting gameplay, WinQuest offers users a chance to win cash and prizes as an incentive for them to give us their data, making it a unique and engaging way for them to connect with merchants and products they care about. By collecting first-party data from users, we will be able to match merchants to that data and present relevant affiliate coupons, generating additional revenue for our company with our existing AR app code and platform technology. In the future, after funding, we will incorporate advanced AI and machine learning technologies to work with our metadata, as well as natural language processing and natural language recognition technology so that we'll be able to parse and match this data to the right coupons and deliver them to users in real time. WinQuest MVP has been built. We're looking to launch in the first quarter of 2023. It's working. We can do demos and looking to raise $500,000 with Safe Notes, which will convert on a $5 million investment. So.
Thank you, Chris. All right. If you want to meet Chris, meet him in the chat. Up next is Wendy. Hello, Wendy.
Hi, Matt. How you doing? Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. So my company, we do urban indoor vertical farming. We already have a farm in Philadelphia, and we're currently working on a project in Seattle, Washington, where we are going to locate farms in low-income neighborhoods, create jobs for people from the neighborhoods who are socially disadvantaged, and we pay a living wage. Grow food and expand food access for low-income neighborhoods. At the same time, we're able to, in Seattle market, we have high-income families and individuals who would love to buy our products, so we can benefit the community and be profitable and sustainable ourselves. So what we're looking for is that if you see the potential of similar operations in your area, can feel free to reach out to me. We can figure out how to get it rolling. If you have connections with your local universities and say, city planners, city councils.
They're doing 50 seconds.
I'm sorry about that. Wendy, hold on. Can you unmute? I had to mute because somehow we still had some background noise.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. So that's the business model, having urban indoor vertical farms that are beneficial to the community and be profitable ourselves. The reason why we're seeking for private investment is it just makes things move faster because we're agriculture producers, so we get a lot of support programs from USDA. So if you're interested, just reach out and let me know. Let's get the conversation started.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah,
And meet
thank
Wendy in
you.
the chat. And just to everybody again, please, for the benefit of our audience, stay on mute. And when you get off, finish talking to the audience, please go on mute. That way we all can hear. We've never had 370 plus people in the room at one time. It's a lot to manage. So, just try and help us out here. Up next is Louis.
Aloha, everyone. Aloha from Hawaii. My name is Louis Caldera, and I'm the CEO and founder of Crypto Kenny Kenny. You can find more information at www.cryptokennykenny.com, and it's also in the chat. My business is a year old, and I do consulting services for those who are passionate about cryptography and the opportunities in the blockchain functions. All of our consultants are blockchain certified. Our consulting focuses on blockchain opportunities, creating your first NFT collection, understanding cryptocurrency, entering the metaverse platform, your personal and business roadmaps, accessing a wallet, workshops, events, and we are currently hiring interns and blockchain consultants. We have 4 projects, including one project, which is a digital mortuary service. The second project is putting the Hawaiian Music Hall of Fame on the blockchain. So Crypto Kenny Kenny is interested in collaborating with investors, mentors, sponsors, and other people in joining our community. We are asking for a modest amount of $50,000 to open up a crypto cafe, a coffee cafe in Waikiki for consultings, workshops, and a safe place to learn and grow. We do understand that coffee is the 3rd sought after commodity and will sustain our establishment on a long term for a good investment. Again, my name is Louis Caldera, and I appreciate your time. My direct number is 808-657-1921. Mahalo again for the opportunity. Thank you.
Great. And meet Louis in the chat if any of you are interested. Up next is Walt.
All right. Thank you, Mark. My name is Walt White, founder and CEO of Newport Electric Boats. So Newport designs and sells electric propulsion systems for sailboats. So our product replaces diesel motors up to 30 horsepower in sailboats. The problem that we're solving is that right now on the market today, more and more people are searching online for electric motors for sailboats, and there are very few options available. What you find is a lot of customized solutions that require kind of do-it-yourself systems. And that's where we come in. We've got a drop-in replacement that fits into the sailboat in the same, it mounts into the engine bed, couples to the propeller shaft in the exact same way as the most common diesel engines on the water today. We offer the battery packs, cockpit computer, and it allows for a very simplistic path for people who want to take their boats electric. So our products have been on the water for over a year. We just actually sold our first system about a month and a half ago. And we've got, we've just got a whole bunch of IP in software and in mechanical design, and we're looking to build up our team. I also want to say really quickly that we are looking for software engineers and systems engineers. If you've got, and you're interested in working for an equity position, we're definitely looking for seed funding. We have not received any funding yet so far. Check us out at newportelectricboats.com. It's a huge market opportunity. I've got a couple decades of systems engineering and all kinds of new product development experience, and would love to team up with some other smart people who want to do something that's environmentally clean and has an opportunity for huge upside growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That sounds really interesting. I'd like to see more on that. Well, thank you. If anybody's interested, meet him in the chat. Up next is Mike.
Go Walt. Walt's getting all the support. Happy New Year, Mark. Thanks for having me. My name is Mike, and I sit in my cellar in Rhode Island and show businesses how to pitch what they do in 2 minutes. It's a challenge to fit everything in, and understanding what stands out to your audience. What counts is you have to be first, best, or different. One of those 3 things are what people react to. And that's what I help to deliver. So I'm going to put my information in the chat. And if anyone would like to meet and just talk about what you're up to, the call is free, and I promise I won't be boring. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. Great. Up next is Constantino.
Hey, Mark. Thank you so much for having me again. Last time was actually a success, but Unfortunately, the contact form on our website wasn't functional because as a tech company, we are always updating our website, updating our algorithms, and it was not connected. We got several investors who contacted us, but the messages had no content. So I'm here again. I'm Constantino, founder of Rex Protocol, Web3 real estate tokenization and exchange protocol. I've been a real estate broker for the past 12 years, the past 6 of which I've actually owned my own real estate brokerage here in Miami. And we focused on the development of high rises in Miami. If you look at any postcard from Miami, you'll probably see some of the buildings that I helped get built over here. But what Rex Protocol does is it helps people gain liquidity and accessibility in real estate investments. So anybody can go to our platform, tokenize their properties, and then anybody around the world can gain accessibility to it. One of the biggest issues that real estate has is that people around the world don't have access to these opportunities to invest into real estate. They don't have the capital, so they have to buy a whole property, and they just can't raise the capital to be able to do so. With Rex Protocol, they'll be able to buy a fraction of a property at 1 cent if they want to, or the whole thing itself at $100 million. It doesn't make a difference, but they get the same amount of lease income that property produces. So that's all distributed through our exchange. Rex Protocol is going to be the first one that's going to have an exchange that allows decentralized leverage on a non-custodial asset. So therefore, you don't have to hold your assets on our exchange. It is decentralized. You keep custody of your real estate holdings. And at the same time, you can get leverage. And instead of getting a mortgage to buy a property, you can use everybody else's holdings on our exchange to be able to buy that, and as well provide leverage to others and gain interest on that as well. All of the properties will be managed by DAOs, so you do have a say in how the property is managed. If you get an offer for the purchase of the property from a developer, etc., the DAO votes, and you can sell off the property. You can trade it just like any stock and receive income as dividends, but on an hourly basis instead of on a monthly basis. And that's about it. We're raising $500,000 right now. In order to build out the full protocol. We have the MVP for exchange already done, but it's a very long and arduous process to build everything out completely. So thank you again for having me, and it's a pleasure. Again, please don't use our contact form. You can write directly to my email, which I have here. I have a very long name, so I didn't put my name and my email, just my email. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. Have a great one, guys.
You can also put your information in the chat just so everybody can find you. Okay, up next, Jean-Claude. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. Hello, folks, and Happy New Year. I'm Jean-Claude Ayrton, CEO of Fortuit. If you understand that 1/3 of humanity is suffering from loneliness, 6 million people die because of it every year, that so far no one has found a global solution to cure it, and it sincerely matters to you or for your kids, then connect with us. We are revisiting and popularizing, and I would say dematerializing, the concept of what is a private social club experience, regrouping like-minded members.
Took it off, so I wanted to put it back on. I found it.
I'm sorry, Jean-Claude.
It's like this.
Hold on. Again, everybody, please make sure you're on mute. Check your mute. Thank you. And you're gonna have to unmute, Jean-Claude. Thank you. So go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was talking about the dematerialization of the private social club. So it will generate such a great sense of belonging, contributing to the mental health and self-esteem. Except that this time it will not be for only the elite, but for all generations, social backgrounds, singles, couples, a revolution truly different. With our team of experts, our patent-pending emotional artificial intelligence to automatically select your tribe and venue, and an incredible logistics platform, we will truly help humanity to be back from virtual to real, building jobs and equity value by servicing millions of customers in all cities. Meanwhile, we will build a real estate empire for our shareholders and generate profits through our business model based on the sharing economy. To simplify, we will be like the Uber of socializing, or by extension in 2 years, the Amazon of the $2 trillion micro-event B2B market. We got traction, revenues, we even bought another company recently, and the sum is about $300 to $400 billion for our first B2C vertical. We are simultaneously raising a convertible bridge perfectly designed for angels with incentives, and a Series A for smart money or larger investors to turn 100K in $1 billion in the stock exchange market. So, trust me, Fortuiting will be the best plan when you don't have a plan and you are thinking like hundreds of millions of people around the world and every day, what am I gonna do tonight? And it will be safe for our kids. In the chat, my contact. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Up next is Rich.
Hey, everybody. Happy to be here. Thanks, Mark, for everything that you do. This is like, I think, my third or fourth event and really great community here. So appreciate it. I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. This is I run a dev agency. This is actually our 14th year in business, Tragic Media. Check us out. We provide scalable, flexible services. And we're actually launching 2 new SaaS products this year. So we have one that's a multi-cloud file storage app. It's called Drivey. You can see it at drivey.com, manage your OneDrive, Dropbox, AWS, GCP, all of it all in one convenient app. We're looking for people to join our beta, so check that out. And we also have an agency management platform called Oversight. It helps high-performance service teams keep better oversight of their remote teams and project performance without changing any of their tools. You can check that out at oversight.co. Connect with me, Tragic Rich. I'm on LinkedIn. Appreciate you all. Have a great night.
Thanks, Rich. Short and sweet. Appreciate it. Up next is Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I am a founder and inventor of the Jet Exhaust Collector. As Mark DiCarlo pointed out in an earlier session, air pollution kills about 7 million people worldwide, or did 7 million people worldwide in 2015. Studies have shown that flying contributes about 2 or 3% of CO2 emissions, but evidence has also shown that airports often produce just as much CO2 as gas and oil refineries. An example, you can go to climatetrace.org and select Explore the Map and zoom in on LAX. You'll notice that LAX produces more CO2 than the Chevron refinery in El Segundo. Jet engines are extremely inefficient at idle because their temperature isn't high enough to combust the jet fuel, and the fuel that doesn't combust on the ground could be captured and reused. I have patents pending on the Jet Exhaust Collector for airport aprons and for towing systems to go behind the aircraft during taxi. And I've got a few articles published on LinkedIn. Website is usairside.com to see some video. I'll get my contact information up in the chat shortly. Thank you.
Love what you're doing, Tom. Thank you for pitching. Up next is Alan.
Hey guys, it's Alan Witters, CEO of T4L. We're raising 10 million working capital. We're an electric vehicle subscription company. We can give you the nicest looking Teslas anywhere in the 48 states. We have back orders for about 400 cars. We have 4,000 leads in our CRM. We need working capital. That's what we're Series A, B type company. And that's all I need, Mark. Thanks.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. Up next is Blake.
Hi there. Great to be here again, Mark. Before I jump into talking about my company, which is called QuarkXR, I'd just like to briefly mention that I can also help all of you with connecting to investment capital because I've been actively scouting for a number of different investors, from Techstars to SOSV to Boost VC to some of my corporate contacts, including Cummins, Dow Chemical, and Honda. Aside from that, I'm here today pitching again my company QuarkXR, which, according to our deck, raised $750K out of $1.5 million, but just got up to $900K. So I'm back again to talk about what we're up to. QuarkXR is basically doing XR cloud streaming. We turn things like the MetaQuest into a supercomputer by offloading a ton of the processing onto cloud servers. So we can do things like turn Horizon Worlds into something usable, have meetings with 100 people plus in them that are actually functional, or pick apart an aircraft engine rendered in 4K. So I'm looking for anyone who would be interested in becoming an angel investor in us, because we actively have angel investment open on a platform called Seedblink. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Again, my name is Blake Wind, and I'll put my info in the chat. Thanks again, Mark.
Thank you, Blake. Up next is Vamsi. I'm not sure I pronounced your name correctly. Please tell us what it is.
Oh, that's pretty accurate. Again, I'm Vamsi Madhavarapu. I'm a founder of a company called MyLFL. LFL stands for Learning or Local for Life. So this is basically a product, a platform product. It's a physical device that combines EdTech and AdTech to essentially decentralize the ad revenue and provide a learning resource for general masses. So what I'm looking for is to either recruit a sales professional that can help me drive the initial sales. By the way, the platforms are currently ready and available for ordering. The content is only limited to the STEM high school content, but the plan is to increase the content to cover pretty much all the way, not only primary school, all the way up to bachelor's degree programs in the hard sciences and arts. So my one goal is to recruit a sales lead that can help drive the initial sales. And second, alternatively, I'm also looking to raise some funding to essentially accelerate the content generation and the ad platforms. The demo of the device, it is a little bit dated, is available on the website, mylfl.com. Take a look at that, and you can also contact me through that website. Ideally, I would have loved to show a demo of the device on this call, but not in 2 minutes. So I'll put the link again in the chat. So feel free to contact me if you're interested in any form. And that's all for now.
Thank you very much. Up next is Efrat.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me. My name is Efrat Shabtai, and I'm a technical advisor and leader. My expertise is building successful products out of innovation. I have close to 20 years of experience building products in machine learning and AI, quantum computing, home automation, IoT, developer tools, data privacy, and many more. I can help you founders to be successful, form a focused product strategy and use cases, form a development plan, POC, MVP, and growing that, build an appealing product with high quality, present your idea or product to non-technical people, give you some technical advice and guidance, and help you with technical hiring and evaluation. And I can also help you investors protect your investment by technical evaluation and guidance of startups that you're working with and investing in, and identifying future trends and vetting business ideas. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please contact me through LinkedIn or email, and I'll leave my contact in the chat. Thank you.
Fantastic. It sounds like you're a very smart person and would benefit a lot of the companies here. Up next is Drew. Uh-oh, did I?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry, Drew. I lowered your hand by accident. Go ahead.
It's okay. Hey guys, my name is Drew Grossman. I'm the CEO and founder of Filter. We're an HR recruiting disruptor that uses ML and AI technology to match candidates to jobs using psychometrics based on their personality types as well as other abilities. The problems right now in the job hiring market is that the job board is basically giving candidates the keys to a car without teaching them how to drive it. So you give them a search bar and a location, maybe they know where, but they don't know exactly what. So what we're doing is filling that gap in. We're also allowing the resume CV. The problem with that is that it's tailored to fit the job description, which is generally generalized, for lack of a better term. And the interview of the candidate may not actually match the skill set if they're not actually socially capable of engaging. So the cost of bad hire is about 20% of the salary to the top line revenue of a company. What we're aiming to do is to have people based on tenure, which is the key word here. That's abilities plus interests. And that's what we think we can do. So right now where we're at is the MVP is built. It's a working model. We have a partnership agreement in place with one of the largest job boards and aggregates in the game. That gives us API access and revenue share. So we're able to use their API and revenue share to have this be free to use for the end user through a BDC model, and it's pay-per-click. And then there's plans to build out a B2B for hiring teams so that we can sell to internal hiring recruiters so that we can have better access for them to actually put the right people in place as well. So right now we've been bootstrapped for the last couple of years. We're looking to raise $200,000 in an angel round. If you want to reach out to me, my name is Drew. You can find me Drew at filterphltr.co. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Next up is Mapa.
It's Mipa. Thank you. Hi, I am a creator of an app. It's actually named after myself because I have a very unique name. So the app is called Mipa. It's on Google Play right now if you would like to look it up. But basically the app is, to compare it, it's kind of Tinder meets Groupon. You swipe anywhere in a radius of like 100 miles, or you can do 50, 20, and you swipe on coupons that businesses upload. There is functionality to swipe anywhere else globally as well. If you were traveling and you want to swipe in a different country, you can swipe there and see what local deals are available. So the problem that I noticed with advertising has become very expensive and exclusive for small businesses. So a new outlet of marketing is really needed. So this app kind of creates that outlet where businesses can use affordable advertising. And it's time efficient as they're swiping. They're not diligently searching up for certain things they're looking for. They can just swipe on it and it's time efficient. The swiping mechanism is a very addicting mechanism for users. It's quick and it keeps people interested in wanting to see more there is. So there's definitely a lot of, there's evidence that swiping mechanism really works for apps. My target market is going to be shopping locally within your radius. That's where I'm really starting at, is starting with local businesses and seeing, having them upload their advertisements first, and then that's where the users will come in. So yeah, my revenue model will be the swipes, the ads have a boost feature. You can pay to have it boosted up, and the advertisement will come to the front of the deck. There's no skip ads for 5 seconds for a premium membership. So you watch the ad for 5 seconds and then you'll be able to skip. And then there's monthly subscription for advertisers. So it'll be affordable for subscriptions that isn't a really appropriate budget for local businesses and things like that. So my marketing strategy for my app is to gain traction on LinkedIn for businesses. Basically just spreading the word on LinkedIn, having them just upload a quick advertisement. And to gain more users, I was going to use the model of referrals for incentives. There's also a sharing feature where you can share whatever advertisement you find to another user you want to give it to. And then yeah, my investments, I'm looking for $75,000 to improve functionality and to market on social media outlets. And I will include my information in the chat. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Up next, and by the way, for everybody, we would prefer if you put on your video rather than not have video running during your presentation. Up next is John.
Thank you, Mark. Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yes, go
Good.
for it.
Okay, great. I just finished my workout with my fitness trainer online, by the way. So I am John Bird with Move Fitness, and we are building, I'm going to sound like I'm reading because I'm going to do it in 2 minutes. We are building a digital platform for personal trainers to engage, grow, and monetize their customer base. The platform will allow trainers to create and manage customized fitness plans, track progress, and provide real-time feedback to their customers. The vision for Move is to build a thriving community using blockchain technology, giving us the ability to reward members for participation in physical challenges and reaching their personal fitness goals. As each customer's fitness journey progresses, their membership token will be leveled up to become uniquely personal. In addition, their personal health data and performance statistics will be stored and privately owned. The thing that has me really bullish on digital fitness space is the success of some of my competitors. Take Sweatcoin, for instance, which only tracks steps. The app began in 2019 and has 120 million registered users. Our business model for Move is built for fitness enthusiasts who statistically spend an average of $2,000 annually, $2,000. And therefore, we would be wildly successful with 100,000 customers, which is 0.08% of Sweatcoin. Thanks for listening to my pitch. We are seeking a little money. We're targeting 600K to finish building version 1. We have an MVP. But one thing I'd like people to reach out to me is if we're looking for founding personal trainers. So I'm looking for a group of 10 to 20 personal trainers who have some experience in the business. And I've reached out to a lot and they're getting back to me. But if you know someone personally who wants to do that, they're going to be running our beta. So I'd love to have people get in touch with me about that. Other thing I would like to offer is for the group, I'm willing to impart any of my knowledge that I've learned along the way on tokenization, gamification, Web3. Reach out to me. I love to collaborate. Thanks.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Meet John in the chat. Up next is Rajiv.
Hi, Mark. Lovely to see you again. Happy New Year to everyone from New York City. Mark, shout out to you. You're awesome. You rock. As far as Mark, jumping on Mark's calendar, it's honestly like going to college, but compressed into like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and it's worth every penny. Mark is worth his weight in gold or a Bitcoin. Take your pick. Anywho, that being said, what do I do? So here's a startling fact. 50%, yes, 50% of reviews that you see online are false. Why do I say that? It's a data point, because the people reviewing these businesses are in a highly emotional, triggered state, and they're just picking up their phones, putting in a name, and just saying anything about the first business that shows up. They are reviewing the wrong business. Here's another startling fact. 25% of reviews, bad reviews that you see online are published by douchebag competitors. Yes, 25%. So what are you left with? If you do the math, 50 plus 25 is 75. So that means 75% of reviews that you see online are just plain out false, just straight out the gate. And what you're left with is then 25% of reviews that are posted by customers of that actual business. And we all know there's a whole bunch of super difficult people out there, and nothing you do will make them ever happy. What I do is, and I think with all these bad reviews out there, it is hurting businesses everywhere, because it is keeping good customers away from good businesses, because all these bad reviews is creating a lot of confusion in the minds of good customers and keeping them away. What we do at R-Square Media is delete, erase, eradicate all of these bad reviews, bad press, scandal, everything bad from Google, social, and the internet. And the reason why I do this is because I honestly want to make the world a better and happier place. And I think that's possible if all this lies, slander, garbage is removed from the internet. And more importantly, it allows for good people like you to continue serving good people like you. And that's the reason I do what I do. My ask from the group is to be introduced to marketing people, because because you guys are trusted advisors, and if you know people that need help, any business that comes from you, you get paid, I get paid, the client gets taken care of. It's a win-win-win deal, and those are the kind of deals that I like to do. So I'll leave my details in the chat, and I look forward to connecting with all of you on LinkedIn as well as in the chat. And shout out to Mark again. You're awesome. Love you. And yeah, I think 2023 is going to be even a bigger, better year than ever. So,
well, thank you for the compliment. That was really very nice. I appreciate it. Up next is Connor. And you don't have your camera on either, Connor. You're muted, and there you go. And you're still on mute. There you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, this is Connor from Kyndra. So we're a startup in different quantum technologies, primarily on quantum computation. We've been doing some great partnerships and looking for different design partners to expand into different industries. Right now, we're looking at aerospace, automotive, and biotech. So if there's any investors who are kind of specialists in that or know some people who could, we'd like to work with them, and other different partnerships we're going to work on in the community. Here, that'd be great. You can contact me at my email. That's Connor, CONOR at Kyndra, KINDRA.com. And I can put all this in the chat as well. So yeah, just looking for different people to work with and ways we can expand.
Thank you, Connor. Short and sweet, just the way I like it. I appreciate that. Up next is Christine.
Thanks, Mark. Hey everyone, my name is Christine and I'm a freediver and designer with a Master's in Marine Affairs and Policy, about a decade-long career working in and out of Silicon Valley for startups. And I'm the builder of a viral media brand using underwater imagery and performance to convey ocean conservation as a human issue, which has taken me all over the world. I had been featured by Nat Geo, KQED, and even awarded a Best of Commendation from the United Nations. And today I wanted to take the opportunity and share a patented product that I developed during the pandemic out of curiosity and necessity both, which I'm hopeful now with the initial positive sales track record to translate into a more standardized mass manufactured wearable with the help of an angel investment, possibly a partner, and certainly a team, a more robust team. So if you're like me or most people, you love the ocean. You love a getaway, go to the beach, somewhere warm with water. And the second you're ready to run away from the safety of the shore and slip beneath the surface of another world, the first issue hits you. You float like a fish, maybe even more so now at the start of the new year before your resolution to lose that 5 or 10 pounds from your holiday eating spree at the end of last year kicked in. But I've got us covered, whether a free diver, snorkeler, scuba diver, or mermaid performer, which is a certifiable thing through dive shops worldwide now. In order to engage in underwater sports and arts, a weight belt is essential. It helps enable neutral buoyancy and safely solves that universal pesky problem of floating, also known as flailing. But when it comes to what we're putting on our bodies, I think we can do better than and most consumers expect better than mere functional solves, which is why the current status quo of weight belts simply won't do, and why I've introduced the Mermid wrap, which functions exactly as a dive belt does, but without the bulk, right? That hunk of 4 pounds on the left hip and your right hip is rendered obsolete now with this Mer-styled waist strap. It's fully customizable in terms of the design, the fabric, adornments, whatever you want it to look like on a front exterior panel. And the features a patented hidden inner panel grid of pockets that evenly distribute flat, slim profile half-ounce weights around the body, around the waistline. So that mass of 8 pounds is utterly camouflaged, kind of like magic. Mermid wraps create a more beautiful, comfortable, and most importantly, inclusive way to help any demographic, all beings, all bodies, whether you've been injured before or not, to enjoy and explore underwater sports and arts. And if you'd like to join and support me in this mission, please reach out to me directly through email. That's me@theunderwaterwoman.com. And looking forward to speaking further. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Christine. Sounds interesting. Up next is Beta.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Beta Safari. I'm the founder and the CEO of GigoClean Technology. GigoClean is an application that works like Uber for cleaning industry. It connects consumers to the cleaners in the area directly. Cleaning industry is a very large industry. In 2022, it reached $96.7 billion. But it has a lot of room for improvement. Through this application, and through proper training for cleaners, we are increasing the public safety and improving the cleanliness of our environment. The application is free to download and it's very easy to use. All cleaners go through background check and they receive proper training and they receive a proper list of products that is actually harm less the environment. We are at this stage. Application is available for download. By the way, if anyone wants to help me, please download the app. And we are a C Corp in the state of Delaware. We are seeking $1.25 million. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can find my contact information on the chat, and I would love to discuss the details of how the system works with you guys if you are interested. Thank you.
Thanks, Beta. Up next is Chikwado. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. You're on mute still.
Thanks, Mr. Mike, and everyone here for giving me this great opportunity. My name is Chikwado Ubone. I'm the founder of Melodies Innovation and Enterprise. Melodies Innovation and Enterprise is an enterprise organization here in Lagos State, Nigeria, aimed at bringing together the most talented people in Africa, especially here in Nigeria, to gain visibility by creating and working on projects that will solve world problems via tech and AI features or models. I want to bring together the most talented, the young talented Africans who are passionate, who have what it takes to change the African continent and the world at large into entrepreneurship through tech and AI as a leading space in this 21st century. I'm looking for angel investors who are passionate and eager to finance the young talented Africans and open to mentorship, partnership, collaboration in all angles. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Please put your information in the chat so people can figure out how to reach you and what you're doing. Up next is Luke.
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
You were speaking about me, right?
I'm speaking about you, but you went off your camera went off.
Okay, just a second because I had some problem with that. Is now okay? Now it should be okay.
No, there you go. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for that. Do you like the background? Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, everyone. And Mark, it has been a really amazing journey. And I believe that this new year, you will raise a fund for sure. There are many people that have raised a fund only based upon popularity. And I believe that you will do the same. You're becoming very popular in the startup world. By the way, if you're interested in Mark's services, you can find him on his website, www.marknovember.com. Feel free to reach out. And Mark, it has been an amazing journey, 6 months. This has grown tremendously, and I really love the way it goes. So looking forward to see how it will show up in 2023. And I'll leave my contacts in the chat. So anybody that's interested to connect with me will do so. Thank you very much.
Luke, you rock. Thank you so much. Up next is Michael. You're on mute still, Michael. There you go.
Is that me? Okay.
Yes, Mike. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. There's been a bunch of Mikes and Michaels, but thank you. So my name is Mike Bloom. I am actually a new arrival to Ventura County, Mark. So I was fortunate to see, fortunate to see this. So basically, my solution or my business is built, frankly, from a personal matter and a personal mission. Just by, you don't even have to do anything, but just kind of nod. How many of you are either children of or currently running small businesses? Because that's what I'm actually focused on, okay? I have designed and built a solution that is using robotic services in order to do both functional as well as what I would call focused work within a small business. We set up ourselves as a utility, that's the name, HRH Utility Corporation, and that's because the business model needs to address a significantly large, a very large market. How many small businesses and so forth. I think you all know the number. It's something like 70% of our economy is in fact small businesses. In California, which is our first focus, there are some over 4 million small businesses. Now, small businesses range from 5 employees to anywhere to 500 employees. After that, it starts to get to be larger businesses. But here's the problem. 20% of these small businesses fail every year. 50% of them fail in the 5th year, and a third of them fail in 10 years. And what I want to understand is, why do they fail? And therein comes the personal thing. When my father retired from his small business, and he was hoping that that small business upon a sale or whatever would be his retirement, it didn't come out to be that. He ran it for 40 years. It was a small business in Lower Manhattan with compressors. And for 40 years, he struggled with these compressors, bringing them upstairs and basements and so forth. But what did he have to show for the 40 years? Nothing. He basically retired on his Social Security. So when I left and retired from a larger consulting firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, who had never done any small business consulting, I decided to really dive deep into this thing. And what I found out was that most of the businesses suffered from kind of the same thing, which is a lack of what we call the business of the business, not really understanding how to run a business, what controls need to be in place, what plans need to be, how to even read a P&L, all of those kind of things, as well as not really having what I would call performance metrics, such as profitability and things like that. What that led to was taking a different view and trying to create an advisor for the small business owner. What I did then to validate that approach was I took on a consulting job that focused on small businesses, and I did about 145 businesses around the country, both on the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, et cetera. And it did validate that, in fact, it was very basic information that they lacked around their business. They couldn't understand their break-even point, many of them. They didn't understand their cost. They were usually running late on payments and therefore had a whole issue of cash flow and being able to pay future bills. And what we then developed was an app, and that app is currently available. That app allows a business, a small business, to ask questions of a bot. Now, these bots were developed, frankly, using RPA. And then in addition to that, they have a platform where they can utilize, whether it's AI, whether it's utilities, smaller utilities. And so they can do a couple of things. One, as I said before, they can do horizontal functions such as data entry.
Michael, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we only have 2 minutes per pitch and we're way over. So if we could wrap it up and sort of meet everybody in the chat. It's hard to do an entire business pitch in 2 minutes. It's just a tease, like a commercial.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Well, to wrap it up, I'm actually looking for a co-founder at this point. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for somebody else to take this and help me with it. And so I have my email there. Be happy to respond to anybody that comes forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. I didn't mean to pick on you because it's really not you. It's generally everybody. So since we only have an hour left and I'm really passionate about trying to end at exactly on time tonight, if everybody can try really hard to basically finish their pitches quickly, that would be helpful. Up next is Greg. Thank you.
Hi, we've had a couple of Gregs, so I just want to.
My apologies. I'm just going by the Zoom feed that I'm saying the cue that I'm saying.
Okay. Am I the right Greg then?
You are, please.
Okay,
Go
great.
for it.
All right, so I'm the founder of Lunexus Space, where we're developing a recycling solution to provide orbital power to satellites. Nearly every defunct satellite has solar panels, and nearly every new satellite needs them for power. Satellites that are launched from Earth cost at least $3,000 per kilogram. We solve that pain point by recycling solar panels attached to already captured space debris. And then we recycle those panels into feedstock for making new solar panels. The idea is that if satellite operators can buy their solar panels on orbit, they won't need to launch with it. And the timing is right because along with the space economy, satellites are increasing exponentially on orbit, presenting a congestion problem that demands a circular economy, both in space and on Earth. So leveraging our successes last year, we're in the team building and SBIR phase. We're looking for one or more diverse entrepreneurial people with a passion for moving industry into space. Specific skills we need are chemical engineering and finance. But if you're passionate about space, contact me. Thanks.
Greg, did you send anything to me yet?
I don't think I have, Mark.
Please do. Okay, I'm interested. I'd like to learn more. Next up, Pima.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Pima Mbwana, and I am the founder of Cube Data Enterprises. We're a construction company that builds sustainable modular data centers. We offer environmentally friendly data centers utilizing shipping containers set up to accommodate the IT equipment that can be deployed rapidly. We're solving the building and design inefficiencies in data centers through a modular design for a better connected future. So I'm currently in a hardware accelerator program, and I'm building out the technology for net zero data centers to be deployed in Africa, starting in Tanzania. I was born in Dar es Salaam and grew up in Ithaca, New York, and I'm certified to build net zero buildings. What I'm looking for engineers that understand data center construction building, servers and data center security professionals, and energy harvesting professionals. Essentially, the three main areas of this project address data center construction in Africa or a construction company, clean water or a water utility company, and hydroelectric power or a power utility company. If you were to build Cube Enterprise data centers, the byproduct will be clean drinking water or a water utility company, and hydroelectric power or a power utility company due to our sustainable building design. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and I will drop my contact info in the chat to speak with anybody further.
If you can actually make it net zero, that would be a something. I would applaud you, and I would be interested to see how you do that. Thank you so much for that pitch. Up next is George.
Did you say George?
Yeah, it's George. Yeah, George. Asaflo. I'm not sure I got your last name right. Sorry.
I'm Kushner, so it's a different George. I take it.
I'm sorry. I'm just again going. If you look at it, might be if you do the gallery view, you'll be able to see the hand raise that's the same as mine. Not sure, but anyways, I'm just going by my view. Go ahead, George. You're next.
Oh yeah, no problem, guys. My name is George Asafo J. I'm the founder of Groove Club, which is a new service booking app that allows customers to book services of all kinds directly to their home. So we're similar to Uber Eats, but instead of food, we bring you services. So that's the whole gist of the app. I'm going to keep it real short. I'm more so of a junior in the business world. I used to have a background in football. I played for the Giants, and now just trying to find some smart minds. Also raising funds, so I'll drop my crowdfund link, but again, Groove Club, GROOV Club, and the service booking app that brings services directly to your home. We have background checks and all the neat stuff. I'll drop the links. There'll be more information, videos, etc. Thank you.
Thanks, George. That sounds very interesting. Meet George in the chat. Up next is David. In this case, it's David Johnson, since we've got so many David. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. This is third time here. So my pitch is a little bit different. I'm not pitching a business. What I'm pitching is a problem. Problem is that entrepreneurship is great. It builds wealth. It gives people prosperity, but it's not equal. There are a lot of underrepresented communities that are not here. I've been teaching entrepreneurship for 2 decades. I've left academia in order to take all my knowledge, skills, experience to try and help get more people into entrepreneurship. So what I'm looking for is connections, opportunities, anything that you might be able to connect me with, or ideas you might have, or organizations that that are trying to help get more people into entrepreneurship, to get entrepreneurship more diverse. So I'll post my information on LinkedIn. Again, I've been teaching entrepreneurship for 2 decades. I specialize in lean startup, social entrepreneurship, marketing, creativity, all kinds of stuff. And I'm just looking to take all this knowledge and make some good use of it. So you have any ideas, please share them with me. Thanks.
Great, David. Very admirable. And I do hope that Venture Starters becomes the place where we address underserved communities. I hope our fund will be able to do that, even though when you look at the investments I've made, they're mostly moonshots. But that's among the reasons why I want to create the Venture Starters Fund. So any of you investors out there want to talk to me about the fund, let me know. That's a passion project of mine. Up next is Jane.
Okay, hey, my name is Lane Jabay.
Oh, Lane, I am
That's
so
all right.
sorry.
I
My
get that all the
bad.
time.
My
All right,
bad.
listen, very happy to be here. I'm a co-founder of a company by the name of Sunright Solar, and we're a solar manufacturing company that's based out of Indiana. We have about 2 years of planning and detailed development completed already, and we're now seeking capital, some fairly large capital for the execution of phase of our project. In addition to me, Sunright has about 5 other co-founders. Collectively, these gentlemen have over 100 years experience in the solar industry. They've got over 5 greenfield startups under their belt, and all of these have been outside of the US, and they're now bringing their talents to the US. They represent some of the most widely recognized solar brands available today. The problem we're solving is that the US is really not in a position to hit our climate goals, Paris Agreement goals. And one of the key reasons for that is our dependency on solar imports, primarily coming in from China. As probably everybody knows, the demand for solar is huge. We currently have about 135 gigawatts installed. And I'm sorry for folks that don't understand gigawatts, but I can explain today. And by 2050, we're looking to go to 3,200 gigawatts. That's huge. And that's going to create a total addressable market of about $1.4 trillion. Sunright Solar will be the first utility scale made in America solar manufacturing using proven technology, cellular technology. Our initial project will be a 1.6 gigawatt solar cell and module manufacturing facility. And in 28, we plan to expand to 3 gigawatts. And once we're able to expand that large, we'll be able to start sourcing polysilicon and start building our wafers ourselves. So some of the accomplishments we've had to date, in addition to some of the ones I've already mentioned, is that we've already secured a site. We have structured $33 million worth of incentives at the state and local level. We have agreements in place with engineers and contractors and OEMs and LTAs of raw material suppliers. And in the past 30 days, we've secured an offtake MOU for about half of our production capacity for the next 5 years, which is 750 megawatts annually. We show a very positive EBITDA of over $50 million as early as 26 and an EBITDA of over 99, almost $100 million by 27. And here's the best news for investors is that in August, there was an Inflation Reduction Act that was passed that provided tax credits for solar manufacturers like ourselves, giving Sunright an incremental $100 million annual to our bottom line for the next 10 years. Our total capital raise is a lot. It's $400 million to be split between debt and equity. In the next 60 days, we're seeking $5 million for seed investments, which allows 2 things. It allows us to move forward with discussions with interested Series A's investors, and it gets us to a shovel-ready project by June of this year. We are working with Premier Financial Advisor to assist us with the remaining capital stack. So in closing, we have about 24-month head start, and we're ready to move forward immediately. We have a business plan and an extensive financial model with all kinds of what-if capabilities for anybody who's interested in learning more.
I'm actually very interested. Please send me the deck. And just so you know, I'm affiliated with a group that already has almost 300 million in the bank, and we're breaking ground shortly to build a 1 gigawatt solar manufacturing facility. Oh. Which state are you going to be setting yours up in?
Well, right now it's Indiana. And that's where we've spent all of our energy. But truthfully, we are open. Can you identify?
I'd be happy to take that conversation offline with you. You sound fantastic. Please, my assistants, if you can make sure we reach out to Lane. I need to move on though for the rest of our fantastic audience here. Up next is John.
Hi, Mark.
Hello.
I'm Dr. John McIntyre. I'm an orthodontist. And I've been doing what I love for over 30 years, creating beautiful smiles. I'm still obsessed with that, but not with the traditional way of doing things. So I'm starting over. I'm the founder of a pre-seed startup that is breaking the rules and redefining the way orthodontic care is delivered by using remote AI technology that allows family dentists to provide orthodontist quality care for their patients with a virtual orthodontist in their office. We have the beginnings of a great team, but we're always looking for help, especially sales, finance, tech. And we already have some patients, and we're doing lunch and learns in dental offices. So we should have our first revenue this month. We are bootstrapped right now, but would be happy to talk to angel investors. In fact, I'd be happy to talk to anybody here.
That's so nice. Excellent. Well, John seems very nice. Meet John in the chat. Thank you, John. Up next is Thomas.
Hi, greetings. Happy New Year to all the venture starters. I'm new to this program, but I'm Tom Hudson, the co-founder and CEO of Risk AI. Tens of billions of dollars are spent yearly on AI and machine learning, and they're hitting the wall and failing to scale with diminishing returns on both money and time invested. We have a highly disrupted system that is a solution with multiple patents behind it. It's been 10 years in development. We have hardware and software for performance, high performance computing in these sectors and neural network applications using set theory instead of statistical processing. The ALEX software that we have offers extraordinarily rapid analysis, a definitive solution and explanation, highly parallel processing, all greatly reducing both the time and cost of data analysis. Today, we have emulation software on platform as a service and seek data scientists, researchers to utilize it now. We are seeking funding of up to $30 million, $10 million immediately, for development of an ASIC built on RISC-V architecture, which would be 1 million times faster. After 25 years with IBM, I've started 6 companies successfully and believe this will be by far the biggest. Thanks very much.
You sound amazing, Thomas. Thank you. Meet Thomas in the chat. Up next is Dwayne. Dwayne Ray Comier. You're up next.
Hello, I'm here. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, let me close my door. I'm the CEO of V-Sorts. Apologize. I was doing a little multitasking. So Happy New Year. Thanks for having me in great space. So briefly, I'm the CEO of V-Sorts. I'm Dr. Dwayne Ray Cormier. V-Sorts is a AI-powered desktop app that uses evocative vignettes, a very well-established DEI framework called Cultural Proficiency Framework, and data visualization to assess organizational cultural competence and DEIB, or diversity, equity, inclusion awareness. I can do this at scale and without bias. The platform essentially, presented in a way where users can engage with it in a autonomous, safe way without having, human interference, and actually allowing people to engage with complex DEI topics in a way that they can kind of learn at their pace. So if you think about self-regulated learning, it's how it goes. We kind of made our year anniversary about December 10th. So good up with that. We had sold 2 white label products to a university and an educational organization. Average sales are about $22,000 for our white label product. The pain point that we really address is that administrators cannot measure organizational cultural competence across broad topics using qualitative data. So essentially, we use machine learning models to take data inputs and give organizational reports based on cultural awareness in different domains at scale across organizations, and they can break it down by group, gender, age, race, sex, etc. Our technology rating level is TR5. Our TAM is 2.1 billion. SAM is 2 billion, and then our service market is $777 million. I have 4 clients, again, averaging 35K for last year invoices. We have a lot of traction. A lot of my clients that's up the pipe is Atlantic School Districts, Penn State, University of Central Arkansas, A&M, and a couple of police departments and fire department. The ask is we're looking for a pre-seed round of $250,000. I'm open to that coming in a few configurations. And if you're interested to learn more and maybe make a pitch to see how you can situate yourself within our organization, reach out. Thank you.
Thanks, Dwayne. Okay, up next is somebody that I have no idea who it is because you were under the Mark's Guest title, meaning you registered late. And all I can say is I put a question mark where your name should be. So if you can see that, maybe you'll know it's you and you can tell us who you are. In the future, for everybody, there's the rename function. There's 3 dots above your picture. If you click on those 3 dots, you can, do the rename and put whatever name, including your email address, on the screen. But go ahead, you're up next. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Saul Tarazona, co-founder and CEO of EJet Aerospace, the new way to fly. We developed a brand new propulsion system. We invested $2.7 million, 20 years, and 26,000 engineering hours. We come out with this patent called Jet Propulsion System, and we got the international award as the best technology ever filed from entire Latin America. We are currently based in Miami. We're looking for $10 million as seed investment, so we can produce full-size the propulsion system and make the aircraft full-size, so we can certify it with the FAA. Our website is ejet.tech, as T-E-C-H. My name is Saul Tarazona. Looking forward to speaking with you.
Okay, sounds interesting. Please put your information in the chat so everybody knows who you are. Up next is Carolyn.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. It's wonderful to be back. Now, in 2023, we are officially, starting our fundraising roadshow. This is our first of the year. Thank you, Mark and Luke, for organizing this great community here. So we are a Silicon Valley native and Delaware registered official company. And we are helping human beings to reach their, superhuman status, right? Assuming all of us here can live to 100 years or more, like, are we optimizing, everything we have in our hands, Are we making the most out of our short, very brief journey here in planet Earth, And anyway, our business model is right now we are building about 70 virtual modules to facilitate this journey, also taking advantage of analytical AI and generative AI. And right now, AI is at a very exciting moment. And instead of being, replaced by it, like, how are we going to take advantage of it? Let AI to manage our mundane life and optimize our short moment here on Earth. So that's our mission. And we are looking for about $600K to $1 million seed fund. If you're interested, please connect me in LinkedIn. And meantime, we are also looking for technical co-founders. Also, yeah, and please contact me if you have the magic to turn, the AI power into helping humanity. So anyway, wonderful meeting all of you. Looking forward to connecting with you in LinkedIn. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for the pitch. Up next is Daniel. This time Summers.
Hello. I am the COO of iLight Innovations Incorporated. About 40 years ago, I was on a design team in Boston, and we came up with an excimer laser, a computer-controlled excimer laser. We had no use for it. And a doctor out here by the name of Charles Munnerlin moved me out in the late 80s, early 90s, and that turned into LASIK. So if you've had LASIK surgery, you're very welcome. We're on the next big hit here, and that is for glaucoma surgery. Glaucoma raises your IOP, and slowly you go blind without really realizing it because you lose your peripheral vision first. We have a fix for that, which is also one of the largest medical device procedure increasing surgical procedures there are in the market today, is called MIGS. And we have a fix for glaucoma using an excimer laser based fiber delivery system. Now, most people and most of these companies seem to be afraid of capital equipment these days, but we have a complete workaround for that so that the doctor comes in seamlessly with no out-of-pocket money. So right now we're looking for a Series A round of about 12 million. And this is about an 800 million a year after year 6 venture here. So it's a very large venture. So so right now we're looking for seed A round. If anybody out there has any ideas of anything, we're just scientists and doctors and engineers right now, and there's nobody that really knows. We have the device, we have the architecture, but we don't have any of the financial wherewithal to even know where to start to look. So thank you very much for such a forum such as this, because we really don't know where to go from here.
Well, you came to the right place. There's a lot of
I'm hoping so.
life science people in our community. And in fact, most of our previous events were a lot more focused on life science than they have evolved into the last couple of events. But Daniel, just so you know, I think one of your colleagues came and pitched us recently, and I would be very
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. I'd be very interested in meeting with you guys. I think I can help exactly what you need. And there's a few others in our community who actually have already mentioned to me that they were interested after Michael had pitched about learning more about what you're doing. So if you can go to marknovember.com and get on my calendar at the very bottom of the landing page, I'd appreciate meeting you. You can ignore all the rest of the stuff on the website. Sorry to take everybody's time for that. Up next is William.
Thank you.
Hi. Well, I'm waiting for this to switch.
It's we're there.
Okay, I'm Bill Whitmire. I'm the founder of a company called Pulmostics Limited. We're in the field of breath analysis. Most people may now be aware of it, but there are trace compounds that are present on your alveolar breath that indicate and can support and identify health and health problems that you have. Our focus right now is on breast cancer. 2.4 million cases a year, 640,000 deaths a year. Most of those deaths occur because the cancer is detected too late. The current gold standard is a mammogram. It has a sensitivity of about 80%, a specificity of about 80%. Breath analysis in small scale trials indicates that it has the same sensitivity and specificity. And I've never yet met a woman who's looking forward to her next mammogram. This is a very simple 1 minute, 5 second test. One breath is all it takes. The underlying technology also addresses lung cancer with a sensitivity of 76% and a specificity of 94%, and we can go on. We're looking for people that are involved in business development, grant writing, and operations as we go forward. We have clinical trials starting in Mexico for breast cancer, and we're looking to expand that. You can reach me at my the trials below, and look forward to hearing from anybody who's interested in this technology. Thank you.
Well, you don't know what it's like. I deal with cervical cancer and stuff, so nobody wants to go for
I'll do a grant writing
exam.
because you can detect cervical cancer from VOCs in the woman's alveolar and the vaginal fluids.
My email address is on my picture.
Your email's on the address on the picture. Okay, we'll look for reaching you.
Okay,
Thank you, John.
so yeah, easier if you can reach through the chat than through the voice. But anyways, Bill's got something that I think is amazing sounding. I hope the whole community will reach out to him and figure out how to get this down the pathway. It makes sense to me. Up next is Jerry. Yeah, you're cut. There you go.
Thanks, Mark. Really, really awesome community you put together here. I know it's a huge effort to put this all together, and kudos to you and your team. I know how much effort it takes to put together, as I put these together myself. So thanks so much for having me here. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to everybody else. I'm a community development manager at HitLab, and HitLab is a digital health research organization that works with both health tech startups as well as larger life science and healthcare organizations. And we really work to help do research studies and validation and verification studies with various different digital health tech solutions. But we also help with market and technical strategy and advisory work as well. We do work much not unlike what Mark is doing here with his team, connecting startups to other digital health ecosystem life science, healthcare provider, payer executives, VCs, and investors within our community to really just bring the ecosystem together and help startups get to that next level. If you need more information, please visit hitlab.org. That information will be in the chat. My email is on my picture and will be in the chat as well. And we also run various different challenges as well throughout the year, which are all free to enter. HitLab takes no equity or any stakes in any of the organizations that we work with. So really glad to connect with anyone here. And again, Mark, kudos to you for bringing this community together.
Well, thank you. And I actually love what you're doing. And if you're able to help startups in the way you described, that's fantastic. Hopefully you'll come back to more of our sessions. Up next is Kevin.
Hi everybody. So right now, you may know that the lithium-ion battery market is currently at $42 billion in 2021, and it has an estimated compound annual growth rate of 18 to 19%. So by 2030, you're looking at a $200 billion market. That's going to be largely driven by consumer electronics, but also an adoption rate of electrified vehicles. So by 2040, you could expect to have 58% of vehicles on the road in passenger cars being electrified. You've also heard earlier tonight about the Inflation Reduction Act, which was recently enacted, which is in part bringing a lot of domestic battery supply for manufacturing and materials to the United States and really incentivizing the growth of that. So hi everybody, my name is Kevin Rhodes. I'm the founder and CEO of Kevin Rhodes Consulting LLC. I have my PhD in materials science and 17 years of industry experience working on advanced electrified powertrain systems and cell chemistry and development. I was a lead engineer for the systems design on the Mach-E and Lightning vehicle that came from Ford. I was a chief engineer and the North American electrification segment leader for the world's largest independent powertrain company, AVL, and recently the vice president of battery development for lithium sulfur batteries at a company called Lighten out of San Jose. I have established a consulting firm here through both my expertise as well as the expertise of my colleagues and the network of other consultants that I know and at several resources. And we provide support for venture capitalists doing due diligence in electrified systems from the cell through the manufacturing level of electrified powertrains, information on chemistry, cell development, manufacturing, and scale up, module and pack development, system integration, of course, R&D, legal and planning applications for any kind of current or advanced chemistries that might go into your products or those in the companies that you might be involved in. So right now, currently looking to support any kind of companies that may be looking for information about powertrain or any aspect of the lithium or sodium as an emerging technology supply chains and how to plan for that, and also looking at potential opportunities for expanding on testing capabilities and novel battery development. So with any industry, leaders or ventures that may want to look at investing in that area for either DOE or DOD type of funding or other type of ventures. So you can reach me at kevinrhodesconsulting.com. My email is also in the chat there, kevin.rhodes@kevinrhodesconsulting.com and on LinkedIn. So looking forward to speaking with you. Thank you.
Very impressive, Kevin, and hopefully somebody will be interested. Up next is Charles.
Good evening. Hello from New York. I'm Charles Beckwith, and I'm a 5X founder with One Exit. I make communication tools, and I'm a strict humanist, which means I don't build things that can hurt people. My startup is called Harmony, and Harmony employs machine learning, applied behavioral science, and intelligent chatbots for social media conflict mediation. And the word mediation is very important. We don't moderate things. We don't censor what people say. We help them communicate. Most people are disruptive in online conversations, become disruptive because they don't feel heard. And so our tool directly addresses that. Facebook alone spends $500 million a year trying to deal with disruptive users, and the needs for AI communication tools are just only growing. We have an MVP that's 99% completed. It's called Harmony for Discord. It's a Discord tool. We're ready for launch, except there's a memory leak that keeps crashing the server. And our CTO who built the application is a data science person, and she has not been able to figure out the memory leak issue. So I'm looking for someone who knows DevOps, who can pitch in for equity-only compensation to help us out to get the memory leak fixed and get online and go for the first few weeks. For go-to-market, we have access to a mailing list that's full of our target customers for this Discord tool. They're the people who run the major ad networks for Discord, and they're our ideal customers. My co-founder and I recently participated in Primary VC's Founders Fellowship, and Primary is interested in the project, but their investment thesis doesn't let them go for things unless we've shown traction. So we have to have some recurring revenue for them to engage. So ideally, within 2 months of launching this thing, we will also be fully funded from a VC firm. So yeah, that's Harmony. Charles Beckwith, emails on my name there. Thanks.
It sounds interesting, and we have a lot of smart people here, so I assume somebody in the community can help you. Definitely put your info in the chat. Up next is Michael. Michael Bonner. I know we probably have lots of Michaels.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. Nice to meet everyone. This is my, first time here. So I'll be real quick. My name is Michael Bonner, and I am the founder and CEO of Rhythm and Business, which is a music Web3 marketplace specifically for R&B artists. You've probably heard about the magic of NFTs and what they can do for visual artists, but music NFTs has been growing ever since 2021. But the biggest genre that has been growing is EDM music, or electronic music. And what Rhythm and Business does is help bring R&B and soul artists from the block to the blockchain. So I am built to myself. Not only am the CEO and founder, but I'm also a developer. So I built it myself initially on the Oasis protocol network. And I'm transitioning it to Polygon because they gave me grant voucher money. It allows music artists to sell music NFTs that also sell their audio directly. So since I am a self-founder right now, what I am looking for is to kind of offload, since I built the MVP, offload both the marketing and the development, so I can be more of a CEO, but also looking for VC people and also founders to help me grow this product for R&B artists, and that is Rhythm and Business.
Perfect pitch. Thank you so much, Michael. Up next is Tara.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tara LaRock, and I'm the founder and CEO of Mindful Mamas. That's MAMAS, and we are a maternal mental health app for the entire motherhood journey. So I am curious, if you are a parent, please raise your hand. Okay, I see a few parents out there. And now raise your hand, keep your hand up if you've ever been triggered by your own child. There should be no hands that go down. I want you to know that 1, you're not alone, and 2, that you are doing a good job. And that is what we do with Mindful Mamas. We normalize the often hidden experiences of motherhood and life. And as a licensed psychologist who had her own mental health struggles after becoming a mom, I'm well positioned to solve the maternal mental health crisis. 75% of the moms in the US who need mental health support are not getting it. And we created the first program that spans the entire life cycle of the mother, from trying to conceive all the way through empty nesting, and the longevity of our offerings is what's helping us to dominate in the space. We're already meeting and exceeding benchmarks on both the acquisition and engagement side. We've grown subscription revenue by 137% in the last 6 months, with 32% growth from November to December. We have active users across 75 countries, and our moms are returning back to our app 2 times a day. We use mindfulness, meditation, mood tracking, as well as other modalities of psychology to help our moms achieve their wellness goals. And we have a strategic investor with Otsuka Pharmaceuticals. We're raising our seed round. We're raising $2 million. And we often say, everyone wants to hold the baby, but who will hold the mom? And that's us. So download Mindful Mamas on the App Store or Google Play Store. And if you'd like our deck, email me at tara@mindfulmamasclub.com. And I can't wait to share more. Thank you.
Also a great pitch. Thank you for that one. Like that a lot. Okay, next up is Jackson.
Hi there, everybody. Can you hear?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Jackson Baranoff, and I am the founder and inventor of Dispo Grinders. Dispo Grinders is a patent pending cannabis packaging design. So when you go to a dispensary and you get some flower, it comes in those medical containers. Well, I designed one that has a built-in grinder that the customer gets with the purchase of cannabis. Now, the value for the customer is obvious, but the dispensary can now mark up their packaging, and that creates a brand new revenue for dispensaries. I'm looking for a strategic partner in the industry or potentially an investor as well. I have the prototype right here. So the lid comes off right there, and you grind your cannabis at the bottom, and the marijuana would come in there as is. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. Thank you for making it short. I appreciate it. I wasn't even ready for you to end so quickly. Up next is Tom.
Hi all, thanks for having me. My name's Tom Zhang. I'm new to the venture world. I was the performance therapist for the San Francisco 49ers for the last 3 seasons. I've recently started Adapt Health and Performance. We specialize in creative corrective training to mitigate chronic pain symptoms, prevent future injuries, as well as improve physiological function. If I can provide value to your company, or if we can collaborate on any type of projects, please feel free to reach out. And I'll just keep this really short and sweet. Thanks, Mark.
You sound very talented. Thank you so much, Tom. Up next is Chris.
Hey guys, I am Chris, founder of Gramity. Anybody that works in a one-on-one training situation knows the hardest thing is to get your people to do what you tell them to do. One of the best ways to do that is to follow up with them. But the problem is that everybody's unique. And so that follow-up takes forever. But they're not truly unique. They're just a unique combination of the same issues. And with that in mind, I went and I built a platform that reduces that follow-up time from an average of 10 to 15 minutes per to down to about 30 seconds. I pitched to the last cycle, and the plan is still to tour in a tin can with my wife and 3 kids to hit trade shows to meet our user goal. Currently, we are looking for a technical co-founder. We're seeking a investment for that marketing play and some continued development. And we're also seeking affiliate partners who have networks of one-on-one coaches or professionals that they know that could really use something like this. So come and meet me in the chat, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Up next is Andy. Good to see you, Andy.
Hi, Ma. Thank you. You still remember me?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. I'm Andy Dang. The company is Arts C2C, and my project is replacing the blockchain. I know everybody knows the blockchain, but and since 2021, blockchain is a hot topic for central bank digital currency. And I found that all worldwide, every bank are looking for technology and to publish their digital currency. That includes digital dollar. But up to this moment, no central bank firmly fixed their technology. Most of the banks are using blockchain. And we know that blockchain is not secure because last year, March 23, there were more than $600 million lost. It's just because the network used keys to control the block nodes. And all the 5 keys has been compromised. So the company has lost a lot of money. And $9.9 billion was lost in 2021. So what I'm trying to do is using my security architecture, security system to replace the blockchain. Why am I so ambitious? It's just because blockchain is sequential. It's not fast enough. 1.7 million transactions per second is not enough. For my system, is parallel processing, so I can handle as many as possible. And the security, blockchain use key, but my system doesn't use key. And well, there are a lot of unique design in my system. If you guys like to hear more, you can contact me. I'll put my information on at the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. He's brilliant. I spent time with him. Please dive deeper with him on this one. Up next is George.
Awesome. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. My name is George Kushner, CEO of H2 Crypto, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. H2 Crypto is the next gen cryptocurrency exchange. We are live. We are solving the #1 pain point, preventing crypto's mass and broad adoption across the globe. There are a lot of Web3 companies here tonight. I'm not sure how much the audience knows about crypto and Web3, but the reality is no one in the world owns crypto. I want to let that sink in. No one owns crypto. What does that mean? Well, 300 million out of 8 billion have exposure to cryptocurrency, folks. That's less than 4% of global populace. And all of the research indicates the same single pain point. It's just too complicated. I spent 30 years almost working on Wall Street. A part of those years was selling derivatives to central banks. When I first got into crypto, I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not the Atlanta George Club, Mensa Club chapter president, but I'm pretty good with markets and econometrics. What we are trying to do is solve this pain point by providing true 24/7, 365 live support, real human beings. We're trying to deliver a user experience akin to a Schwab or a Fidelity for general crypto know-how, education, support, not investment advice. Let's see a show of hands. How many of you all tomorrow would walk into any bank in the United States or brokerage firm, fill out the paperwork with the representative, fund the account, and as you're walking out the door, they tap you on the shoulder. They say, hey, if later on today or next month or next week or next year, you can't get into your account because it's locked, or once you're in, your balances are off, or once you're in, you can't buy and sell, send, receive, whatever it is. If you try and call us, chat with us, or email with us, good luck. We're not going to be there for you. How many of you all would open those accounts? Let's see. That's what I thought. No one. And that's exactly where we are today in the state of affairs with cryptocurrency exchanges. It's nothing more than a platform. We want to build a community to educate and grow the business and grow the whole community. We've raised $1 million via SAFE. We're looking for 1 million left to just grow the company and scale. We were funded by Draper Goren Home out of Los Angeles. You can find me on LinkedIn, and my email is george@h2crypto.io. Thank you very much.
Thanks, George. Up next is Joseph.
Hello, Mark. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm actually joining you guys from Atlanta, Georgia. So good to have some friends in the area. But thank you for your time. I'm here representing Zen Delivery. Zen Delivery is not your average delivery driving company. We don't even have drivers. What does that mean? Again, we're a third-party administrator. So as a restaurant owner, who do you care? What do you care who delivers your delivery, as long as it gets there fast, hot, and the customer's satisfied? So again, we're literally revolutionizing the way it's done. As a matter of fact, Google just signed with Zen Delivery, the first ever company below $1 billion. So Google already has a chunk of this market, but wants to kind of enhance it. So here in the next couple of weeks, look out for some sort of announcement from Google talking about a marketplace for restaurants. Okay, it's a big deal. There's nothing in the news about this right now. So basically, if you want to fund your businesses, fund your ideas, looking for passive income, please connect with me. Let's talk about Zen Delivery. And I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to request something. I'm actually skilled in a 99-second pitch where you engage a left brain, right brain. So please connect with me regarding that. I don't mind helping all of you. Okay. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks, Joseph. Up next is Gregory.
Thank you. I'm not a guest of yours, however, a friend of yours by the name of Steve Habermacher.
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
I didn't butcher
I like
his
Steve.
name.
Yeah.
He said, I've got to be here. So here I am. Anyway, I came up with a development in what is called the next gold or oil, the next oil, and that is water. Now, how this, the necessity is the mother of invention. I drill the saltwater well. I live off grid. I could not find a solution. I have a friend of mine who was in the water industry all of his life and retired and is now passed away. Out here at the big power plant, was one of the lead scientists in water. He came out and looked at my invention. This is what he told me when he looked under it. He couldn't believe it was this big because nothing has been built this big that does this. It was 30 feet by 14 feet. He looked under it and he said, "This is the biggest breakthrough in water ever." And he says, "I doubt in your lifetime you're going to see anything bigger." And with that, let me tell you what I did. I redesigned something that scientists, academia for centuries have been working on. They can't seem to think outside the little box. Well, I woke up from a dream, built this thing, and about 2.5 foot square, I got a constant flow of water because I've took this technology that he saw when he was alive and I developed it. My website is realwaterindependence.com. There's some videos on there, and you can actually see the flow of water coming out of this little 2.5 foot square. It's something that every country needs, and no carbon footprint.
Gregory, your feed is breaking up. I apologize.
And oh, okay.
So here's the thing, we're running out of time tonight, but put your information in the chat for one, so people can reach out to you, and get on my calendar with Steve so I can talk to you. I'm a friend of Steve too. I'd like to learn about your technology, and if you're, it would be worth a deep dive. Thank you, Gregory. It does sound amazing, by the way. Everybody in the community.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to move on.
Thank you.
Though.
And maybe because of the subject, the feed's been cut off.
Yeah, no, just I lost your signal there for a while. Okay, up next is Marie.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good night. I'm a strategic partnership manager, and I also am a Web3 consultant. I help founders identify and pursue the best partnerships for their businesses. I was also a two-time founder, so I know how crucial it is, to have the access to the right people, make the right connections. So I really am skilled at building powerful partnerships for startups. I'm also building out Web3 DEI, which was really a marketplace to unlock the potential of Web3 for investors, to explore the possibility of investing in marginalized groups, communities of creatives and innovators. A lot of them don't have access to funding to move their projects forward. So I'm really looking to make those matches and really help to build a more equitable Web3. And if you need any help with partnerships, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help.
Excellent. You sound very talented. Put your information in the chat and hopefully people will reach out. Up next is Larry.
Hi, Mark. Good morning. And yeah, nice having me here. Also, I'm a product leader with some technical background and a two-time founder with an exit to my belt. My name is Larry, and I am the CEO and co-founder of MyCircle. MyCircle makes it easy. It's a social and lifestyle product that makes it very easy for anyone, anywhere in the world to save and build wealth. What we've built, the average income earner are in a constant tug of war between saving and spending, and most of the time gives the excuses of earning too little to save. It's a common practice among salary earners to always give this excuse. And so the fun fact is we spend 80% of our income on food and other daily essentials. This is something we've seen over time with the stats from the Nigerian statistics market. So MyCircle is connected to over 120 retail stores, and we have negotiated discounted rates at different market rates. Hence, MyCircle allows anyone to spend and save easily. Our users spend at discounts and get these discounts moved to a wallet for savings. We've also built a social saving platform that allows our users meet financially responsible individuals via saving challenges, and they can save as a group cross-border using MyCircle Coin, which is powered by a crypto backed by USDT. Our business model is quite simple, with a revenue gotten from a percentage of savings and interest, and we are raising 1 million seed for 10%. And we're open to investors for across borders, across nations. We're open to angel investors and VCs. You can send me a chat or email me at larry@mycircle.africa.
Perfect. Thank you, Larry. Next up is Ricardo.
Hi, Mark. Hi, everybody. Nice to be here for the second time. I got really nice talks last time, so happy to be here. My name is Ricardo Polar, and I am the founder and CEO of PIM4All. We are developing a data-driven training platform with the most personalized training protocols to boost and preserve the cognitive, motor, and physical capabilities of children and seniors. The problem we are solving is that only 25% of people do enough exercise recommended for their health. So the post-COVID situation has installed really sedentary bad habits. And that's a big problem for the aging population and a huge burden for society. So we would like to prevent and help patients to fight neurodegenerative diseases. So the pleasure to execute the therapeutic activity is really important to keep the training and keep them motivated. So the gamification of the user experience of progress is important for us. So we're going to adapt one of the most popular games like ping pong. So, and at the same time, adapt the techniques and intensity of an Olympic sport as table tennis, which is considered one of the best sports for the brain. So our AI data analytics system will capture and process the whole data and create the digital twin of the patient based on the performance metrics of the exercise, the motion analysis of the patients, the digital biomarkers using wearables, the coach feedback, the patient condition, and the doctor diagnosis for the follow-up. So there's a lot of evidence, significant evidence of table tennis could be used as therapeutic activity. So we're going to create this recommendation system, and we have the best experts in Europe, like a team coach of the national team of France and other professional players with healthcare professionals building this knowledge base so we can adapt, personalize the training programs. So we're looking for convertible notes of 500K for this year, and closing our seed round next year of 2.5 million. So if you are an angel or family office, please, you would like to support research to make a virtual hope a real fight with people and technology innovation, please contact me. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ricardo. Before I just want to say to Samson, Daniel, Michael, Hansel, Jeffrey, Bob, Roz, Kathy, Pyrush, Jay, Idis, I've written your names down on a list, and if you'd like to be in the first hour of the next event, just come back to the next event and I'll call you out. You don't have to even be in line in the queue. I will try and get you in. I am so sorry. We are, it's hard to decide how to build a community. I have to tell you, like half of the audience would like my events to end on time, and then others would be happy to stay. If I kept going for 4 or 5 hours, they'd still be here. And to be honest with you, there has to be like at some point a structure to what we're doing. And I haven't quite figured out all the structure yet. I'm learning as I go, and I have a million ideas on how to improve the way we can all connect. That's way beyond just leveraging Zoom, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to get there and bring everybody along and even learn myself. So I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying we're out of time. Thank you for putting yourself in the queue. I would love to have you come back a week from today. I want us to meet every single week and have this conversation continue, except for holidays, so that we can really build the community in 2023 that is needed to solve what I see is a problem for most startups, which is essentially that the angel investment market collapsed this year. When the Amazon stock and all the stocks went down by 30 to 50%, Tesla stocks. It really freaked out a lot of angel investors. So our market sort of, collapsed in a way. And then the venture capital market also hasn't been able to keep up with all the demand. So we have to find new ways to connect everybody. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is to be introduced to investors from somebody that personally will make that connection. So it's a warm introduction. You don't have to be pitching total strangers. So part of what I'm trying to accomplish here for all of you is connect to people who know the right people. They might know the right information to help you grow your company technically. They might know the information to help you run the business side. They may know, how to get you patents. They may know how to introduce you to the right investor groups. They may know your buyers. If you're building something for Walmart, it would be nice if somebody on your team actually knew the buyer at Walmart. So I'm basically trying to create a networking event to improve everybody's odds of success in a very difficult season of both raising money and growing startups. It's, technically difficult and it's emotionally challenging. So what I'm just trying to do is build that community. And I want to thank all of you. I know we just lost 10 or 20 people here at the very end, but I want to thank all of you who did stick around to the very end. This is the first event that we've done since we got started where we kept an audience of anywhere between 200 people and almost 400 people. And I'm sure when we look at the data, over 400 people came to the event, at least for a period of time. So we as a community absolutely were rocking it. It's all because of you guys showing up. So I give you 100% of the credit. I keep showing up because you keep showing up. This has been an amazing ride. Thank you very much. It's been awesome. I just want to say to Idas, you were at the very first event where there were only 17 of us in July when I first started to figure out that this was a better format doing it this way. So thank you for helping me learn that and being part of this experience. Just a shout out to you. Thank you to you all because you are amazing. You rock. We have so many beautiful people in our community. I keep hearing so many amazing things from you all. This is working. It may not be working for all of you yet, but it's working for some of you and it will eventually work out for all of you. I hope you'll keep coming back. Hopefully see you next Wednesday.
Can you send the chat?
And you can save the chat. Go to the 3 dots at the bottom of the chat and you can save the copy of the chat so you can see all the information. And I think that's it for tonight. Thank you. It was a wonderful event. Our first event for 2023. It was a winner. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that participated tonight. Good night.
Thanks, Mark.
Good night,
Thank you,
Mark.
Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Happy
Good
New
night.
Year again.
Yeah, see you later.